What's up, guys? Welcome back to CodeVerse. In the previous episodes, namely episode 7 and episode 8, we have covered a very important building block of C, decision making in C, using if, else if, nested if statements, and learning about switch statement, including case, break, and default. So far, we have mainly been telling our program that if this condition is true, do this, or if the value is this, execute this case. But now there is another problem. What if we want our program to repeat something again and again? For example, suppose I want to print the numbers from 1 to 10. Without a loop, I would have to write printf function 10 times. That works. But imagine if I wanted to print the numbers from 1 to 1000. Writing printf function 1000 times obviously isn't a practical solution. This is exactly where loops come in. A loop allows us to repeat a block of code multiple times without having to write that same code over and over again. So instead of manually writing the same instruction, we can tell the program that keep doing this as long as this condition is true. And that is the basic idea behind loops. In C, we have three main types of loop: the while loop, the do while loop, and the for loop. All three are used for repetition, but they work slightly differently and are used in different situations. Before we start with the individual loops, let us understand one important idea. A loop usually has three basic parts. First, we have some kind of starting point. Then we have a condition that determines whether the loop should continue or not. And finally, we need some kind of change that eventually allows the condition to become false. Let us start with the while loop. The basic syntax of it looks like this. The program first checks the condition inside the parentheses. If the condition is true, the code inside the curly braces executes. After that, the program goes back to check the condition again. If it is still true, the code runs again. This continues until the condition becomes false. Let us write a simple while loop to print the numbers from 1 to 10. First, we will create an integer variable I and then initialize it to 1. Now, we will use a while loop with the condition I less than equal to 10. This means the loop will continue to execute as long as I is less than or equal to 10. Inside the loop, we will print the current value of I. Since I is an integer, we will use the %d format specifier. Finally, we will increase I by 1 using I increment. This is important because it allows the loop to eventually stop. Without it, the I would remain 1 and loop would run forever. Now let us run this program. As you can see, as the output, numbers from 1 to 10 are printed here. So the loop checks the condition, prints the value, increases I, and repeats until the condition becomes false. Now, what if the condition is false from the beginning? This is another important point. Suppose we write I is equal to, let's say, 11 here. Here I is already 11. The program checks whether 11 is less than equal to 10 or not. That is false, of course. So the loop doesn't execute even once. This is an important characteristic of a while loop. The condition is checked before the loop body executes. We will compare this with the do while loop shortly because do while works differently. So, if to summarize the while loop, the condition is checked first. If it is true, the loop body executes. Then the condition is checked again. This continues until the condition becomes false. And we need to make sure that something inside the loop changes because of something. Otherwise, we can end up with an infinite loop. Let us move to the second type of loop in C, the do while loop. The basic syntax of it look like this. The important difference between while and do while is when the condition is checked. With the while loop, the condition is checked before the code is executed. With the do while loop, the codes run first and then the condition here is checked. Let us see an example now. First, we use the do keyword and opens the loop body. Just like before, I have to declare an int variable I here and initialize it to 1. Let's see. Now here inside the loop, I will be printing the value of I using the printf function here. Then, just like before, we increment I by 1 using I increment. After that, we will close the loop body and then we'll write the while condition. And in condition, I will write for say I less than equal to suppose 15. The main difference here that you need to remember is that while may execute 0 times, but do while always executes at least once. The third and probably most commonly used loop in C is for loop. The basic syntax of is this. The for loop puts three important parts together: initialization, condition, and update. Let us use the same example we have been using and print the numbers from 1 to 10. Here, int I is equal to 1 is the initialization. We are creating I and starting it at 1. Then I less than equal to 10. This is the condition. The loop continues as long as this condition is true. And finally, I increment. This is the update. After each iteration, I increases by 1. So the process is start with I is equal to 1, check whether I is less than equal to 10. If yes, executes the code. Then increase I by 1. Check the condition again and continue until this condition becomes false. The output of this program will be this. You can see numbers from 1 to 10 are here displayed on the screen. You might now be wondering that if we can already do this using a while loop, why do we need a for loop? Well, we don't technically need it. You could write the same program using while. Both produces the same output. The difference is mainly in how the code is organized. When you already know the initialization, condition, and update of your loop, a for loop can make the structure more compact and easier to read. This is why you will see for loops very often in C programs. It is now your turn to practice the concept from this episode. Create the following programs. Print the number from 1 to 100 using a for loop. After that, print the numbers from 100 down to 1 using a while loop. Create a do-while loop that keeps asking the user for a number until they enter 0. Do share your solutions or ask your questions in the comments below. I will be happy to help. And that is it for today's episode. Today we learned the three main types of loop in C: while, do-while, and for. If you have any question or feedback about the course, let me know in the comments below. And if you are following the complete C programming course, the playlist is linked in the description, so you can go through all the episodes in order. In the next episode, we will move on to another important topic in C called functions. We will learn how to create our own functions, pass information to them, return values, and understand why functions make larger programs easier to organize. I will see you in the next episode. Until then, happy coding.